Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick video of something that I'm into right now. It's very nerdish, but there's something called pareidolia. Pareidolia means that when you look into the skies or the clouds or the grass or a cookie or even in the foam of your beer, you might see faces. You might see something that resembles something that is really not there. And I found this to be true also when you have a big trust in, let's say, governments, or that your parents are always right, or that you dug into a conspiracy theory, which some people do. Just to prove it or disprove it, you will be very biased automatically towards the thing that you already know, which is great because that makes us recognize faces a lot of the places. It makes us recognize people as well. It's the same gift or power or whatever you want to say. And the reason why I talk about pareidolia is because we have a tendency to only view things from our own perspective, which is impossible to do otherwise, because you will always just be your own perspective. You are you and I am me, and I can only see things how I see them, and you can only see how you see it. But it's always something to keep in the back of your mind when you see things that you wish are true, or that you believe a system, or if you're very spiritual, you'll probably also think, like I do very often, there's a point to everything. There's a reason why things happen. And it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. It's just that if you know about this, you will know that you have to question your mind sometimes. Not your sanity, but just in general, understand that your psychology wants you to think that this is recognizable. You want to see there's a face in the cloud, and you will swear that's a face in the cloud, and you give that. And so why am I interested in pareidolia? Because I want to teach us people, and I want to teach myself, that not to be fooled by our own brains. Our brains are an amazing tool, but it's also a tool that will always be affecting you to think things are the way that you think it is. And also, we know this from witness testimonies, that if you saw someone robbing a bank, and you will see this lineup after, like you see in the movies, and you have to pick out who was robbing the bank, there's a 80% chance around that number that you would choose the wrong person. Because in your mind, if someone asked you before, was it a black or white person, was it tall or small person, was it white red jacket, or was it a fat or a thin person, you would 80% of the time not being able to answer it, because you've already been conditioned to think in a different way. So you thinking about it will create what you think you saw, and you will give it meaning. So if you see someone that's similar to that, you'll say they are guilty. So all in all, can you actually trust yourself? In your psychology and your brain, most of the time, yes, you can trust yourself, because everything you are around makes sense to you, gives it meaning. But you saying that other people doesn't make sense when they don't agree on what you see and what you think. Well, it might be true too, that you are the only one who's sane in that room, but it might also be the opposite. And that's why the more that we allow other people to have an opinion, and the more that we allow freedom of speech, freedom of choice, anything like that, is a better way to live, and in many ways a better option, because you will allow anyone to believe what they think is right for them. But there's also the thing that it might annoy you, or you might tell yourself that it's like people would say, oh, unvaccinated people are very scary and are very dangerous in these times. Actually, it's the opposite is true if you look into the data. But if you just listen to what they say on the news, you will believe that, because that's true for you. And so, how do we survive in a world when you cannot be sure of anything? Be sure of one thing, that you can't be sure of anything. That's the greatest way to success. You just admit and allow that there might not be just one truth, and it might not just be your truth, and that's okay. We're all supposed to live here in the same time on the same earth, doing more or less some of the same things. So you allowing other people's opinions, other people's freedoms, thoughts, everything like that will allow you to expand your mind even further. And it will not kill you. It will not make anything dangerous in your life. You might think people are dangerous because they get dangerous ideas. Yes, of course, if it's threatening your security, you will not be in doubt, because you will have a knife at your throat, or a gun at your head, or threatened by a government to go to jail or do anything else. So freedom is just you allowing you to be free, so everyone else can be free. And that's why it's not dangerous.